Hey there and welcome to today's video where I just want to give you a bit of an update of what's happening here at the GroCycle Farm. So around about 6 weeks ago I stood in this spot outside our containers behind us here, just talking about how we were going to increase our capacity. During the coronavirus there is an increase in demand for local food. That we've seen this ourselves in the local area here, and we've also been lucky enough to get a £10,000 grant which all small businesses in the UK have received as part of the coronavirus response, and we've decided to invest that in our farm basically. So uh, at the time we thought it would take us about 2 or 3 weeks to do everything that we wanted to do, and of course, like all projects like this, they always take at least 3 times as long as you think they're going to take. So here we are 6 weeks later, and we're getting pretty close to completion. Probably another 5 or 6 days, I think. Maybe middle of next week it'll all be completed fully. And I just want to talk a little bit about what's taken longer here with the project, and also I'm going to just take you on a little tour around so you can get a look at what we've been doing. So a few things have slowed us down. Firstly, it's just been really difficult to source materials. A lot of things have taken 3 or 4 weeks to arrive. Delivery times are really long. Lots of shops, even online stores, just have shut down completely. So actually sourcing equipment can be quite tricky. And on top of that, working in such a small space and trying to keep 2 meters apart from one another has also presented a lot of challenges. Sometimes there have been 6 or 7 people here doing various different tasks at a time, and trying to keep 2 meters apart when you're working in small spaces, like being inside a shipping container, for example, is really tricky. And then on top of that, we've had a lot of increase sales of our mushroom kits. So we've been, which is really great, really thankful that that's happened in this period of time. And it's obviously a really nice thing for people to be doing at home. Um, but it's also meant that we've had to kind of up our production to keep up with that. And so, we've been working additional hours to produce more kits, and kind of work around the clock, basically producing kits and doing the farm build at the same time, trying to maintain our distances and split shifts. And on top of that, both Eric and I have got young children, and we've been looking after them part of the week as well. So as you can imagine, all of that together creates quite a chaotic situation, but we're getting there. And thankfully we've got a really great team here at the farm running things and doing the production. They've really stepped up and done a lot of additional hours and done a great job. So I'm going to just take you for a quick walk around. You can see what it is that we've been doing. First up, you'll notice the containers have changed colour. So we're halfway through the job of painting them. They're about 35 years old, these containers now. They were made in the mid-80s, and they were starting to look a little bit worn out. So we've given them a new lick of paint, and I think it's looking quite nice. You'll also notice that this has been enclosed. This lean-to space was here before, and that's where we used to pasteurize our straw. We've now kind of enclosed it, and this is going to be, when it's finished, this is going to be a packing space where we're going to have a bench put in here, and we're going to use it for a mix of packing produce in, as well as some storage over time. And there's just going to be a kind of a useful utility space that we'll make use of. And then a lot of the time recently has been spent turning this shipping container into our new fruiting room. So this used to be a fridge, and in the last few weeks we've done a number of things to it. And then as we go into the actual fruiting room, this will be where the mushrooms are fruiting, and you can see that we've got our ducting in place for fresh air, and also for the air at the end of the process makes its way out through the ducting here, and that is nearly finished, not quite. So we're going to just finish that off tomorrow. So this will be getting filled up at the end of this week with our first bags and buckets. Something you'll have remembered possibly from previous videos, that we're going to do half our production in buckets and half of it in columns. So yesterday we began making our first buckets. At the moment this incubation room is full of a lot of kits while we just try and build back up our stock. But if we look down here, we can see our first batches of buckets. starting to incubate. We have some in another room as well, and we're also experimenting with much bigger columns. I don't know if you can see that here. These columns are around about 6 feet tall, and so we'll be hanging those right from the ceiling in the fruiting room there. And then the other thing that we've done is we've built a new pasteurisation area. The space we had behind me here was fine, but it was a little bit small. And what we've done behind me here, we had there's a barn there that was previously just full of all the stuff that we used to store there, but there was a lot of rubbish there as well. So we've cleared a lot of stuff out. We've organised the space much better. We've added this cladding on the outside here, and tomorrow we'll have windows going in at the top there, and we painted the floor. These white boards here are kind of easy to wash down. We'll have the same going along this side here and along part of this side. And this is where our IBC is going to sit, and this is where we'll be pasteurising the straw. We'll have a workbench going along the side of here. And this is where we'll be basically creating all of our substrate, our kits and our columns and our buckets. So we've got a much bigger space in order to both increase the capacity of what we are able to produce, but also the efficiency as well. So there we go. That's just a little tour, and we will do a further one probably in about 4 weeks once the fruiting room is completely full of substrate and we're back fully into production where the mushrooms are fruiting again. And I look forward to doing another one then. I think we're going to do probably a monthly video from the farm, so you can just kind of see what's going on across the year here. If that's something you're interested in, maybe just let us know in the comments. All right, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.